This is huge. 3 meme stocks that you should sell before January in particular. Investor Place just put out an article that states 3 miserable meme stocks to sell while you still can, but in specifics, what is shown out on Google, what is shown out on the news article is to sell before January. Now, why is that the case? In today's video, we have a lot of stuff to cover with AMC, GameStop, as well as what's happening with hedge funds, banks, the overall market. So watch until the end. And as always, guys, please hit the like button. It helps me out. It's also free. And if possible, get us to 18,000 subscribers before the year is over. Now, the 3 that they quote, and this gets me hyped, is GameStop, AMC, and Mullen. What happened with Mullen today, guys? If you haven't been looking at the market, Mullen is trading at $14.41 because they just had a 1-to-100 reverse split, but it is up 80%. Mullen has been rallying. Lottery stocks, no stock ever runs after a reverse split. It's just not the case. Well, Mullen is having what could potentially be a squeeze. Now, this price is probably going to be less attractive over the long term, so don't assume Mullen is going to climb over the long term and dig itself out of the hole. However, I want to talk about AMC, GameStop, and the potential squeeze that we are coming into. First of all, AMC is falling. It made a new low. Where is it going to hold up? It broke below $6, trading at $5.99, down 3% on the day. There are levels that I'm watching, $5.25, and then down to this trend line. This trend line is the last support for AMC. And then, of course, $4 even, which I believe was Citigroup's price target, or $4.75. So I think between $5.25 and $4, AMC will bottom if it decides to continue to sell off. However, just like that meme picture where it says we are here and it's a flash down before the squeeze higher, could very well be the case, and you'll understand why when we get into the market. But real quick, I want to touch on the short interest rising on AMC according to Ortex, 9.22%. Of course, we know it is much higher. 3.8 million shares available to borrow according to Stonko Tracker. We are losing badly on the options chain. 2,000 calls expiring in the money compared to 29,000 puts expiring in the money. And then 100,000 calls going over to market makers, all that premium that you paid for those contracts. Short exempts extremely high. So this is not a natural sell-off. 324,000 for December 20th yesterday. They are dumping fake shares on AMC as hard as possible. Now, GameStop, we said we need to see this thing stair step if we are going to have that squeeze very soon and it lead the way, and that is what is happening. GameStop is holding up on the first stair step that we said it has to hold up on, right around $16.75. Again, that next level, the very bottom would be $14.60, $14.50. Anything below that, invalidated. Once again, GameStop holding up pretty well. If we come down and base off of 16, I wouldn't be surprised if GameStop pushed higher, getting a little bit of a cool off with the overall market, etc., which we are going to get into. Now, in 1 second, we're going to touch on what's happening with hedge funds, which is extremely important for AMC and GameStop, and I'm going to say why I think we may be on the verge of having a nasty rip. GameStop, 200,000 shares available to borrow, 6,000 calls compared to 6,000 puts expiring in the money, and 84,000 calls expiring out of the money. So everything is even, except a lot more people are betting bullish on this week, which makes me think that market makers are going to keep this thing down at least until the close on Friday. Short exempts, 17,000, down from 37, down from 66. So they are decreasing short exempts on this little cool off for GameStop, but don't be surprised if they add more one of these days and take this thing down to a crucial support level. Now, we recently talked about short sellers being down $145 billion in 2023 amid the S&P 500 rally. Well, now they are down more. They're down $178 billion so far in 2023. $178 billion. This $33 billion loss difference was in a 5-day span. Okay, in 5 days, they added about $33 billion in losses, and you're seeing Mullen rip. With that being said, if you haven't watched yesterday's video, I talked about the very bottom AMC hit around January 6th, 2020, and then ripped higher. The SPY was climbing. Short sellers were losing massively on short positions. The SPY sold off and then continued to climb very fast, making shorts exit these positions, making shorts get liquidated, margin calls, etc., and you may be seeing the same exact thing happen if the SPY starts to run in 2024, following the Santa Claus rally. Does that mean the retracement is over? No, not just yet, and we're going to talk about it. But real quick, AMC Theaters launches its own brand of candies. This is the latest news that is going around revolving AMC. So fundamental side of things, good as well. If the banking crisis is over, why does the emergency bank bailout facility keep rising? You can see that right here, coming up to $125.937 billion. After multiple bank failures this week, the DTC has proposed raising the net debt cap to $2.15 billion. That is nearly a 20% increase on a sliding scale. But again, guys, banks are doing extremely well, right? No. Bank credit is also contracting sharply, which only happened once in the last 50 years. Taking a look at this chart, not too hot. So the narrative that's happening, the narrative they're pushing is that the banking sector is resilient, right? Banks can't meet capital requirements. SRO says, say no more, fam. They filed to raise the capital requirement. And then the SEC says, hey, we'll file an accelerated approval. And then the Fed says, again, look how resilient the banking sector is. This entire system is rigged. And at one point in time, AMC, GameStop will break the entire criminal system that has been unfolding before our eyes. Now, before we get into the market, crypto, the Tesla trade, guys, come talk with me. It's a coffee a month. The best people who are seeking financial freedom just like you guys need to surround yourself with people who are doing the same things, trading stocks, trading crypto, and talking about it on the daily. You want to get out of your 9-to-5 job. You want to come in Discord. You want to talk with us. You want to talk with each other, bounce ideas back and forth. And whether you're a beginner or advanced trader, this is the place to go. There's no bad questions. You get other traders' opinions, and overall, you'll become a better trader. That link is in the top of the description and pinned in the top of comments. The second link under the Mumu link. Speaking of the Mumu link, if you want 15 free stocks, yes, 15, each valued up to $2,000 per stock and 5.1% APY on your uninvested cash. Use my link, sign up, and deposit into your account, just like you would Robinhood or Webull or E-Trade or any other platform. And Mumu keeps your money insured, gives you level 2 order book data, access to trading options, and my favorite, the customizable earnings calendar. And if you've done it already, have a family member come over to the channel and do it. You got to go through my link and make a deposit. Tesla, once again, up 1.78% on the day. 251.56, flash down with the overall market yesterday. And right now, we're taking a look at previously what happened and previously what we're tracking. Cycle back here, climbed up again, retraced, got this next flash higher, climbed again, retraced, got this next leg up higher. And what did Tesla do? It sold off 10%, testing the macro trend line right around 216.60. Tesla so far sold off 5%, testing the macro trend line right around 246. And I will be looking for a re-entry anywhere between 243.95 and 233.50 on Tesla. I think Tesla will retrace a bit further, breaking below this trend line along with the SPY and coming into this zone where I will re-enter calls on Tesla. If that doesn't happen, will I jump back in? We're going to reevaluate from there, but that is my outlook on Tesla. I see a slight bit more of retracement ahead. You guys let me know if you are still in your calls. Now, U.S. jobless claims rise 205,000, estimated at 214 and previously 203,000. Figured I'd plug that right before we talk about the overall market. Overall market, up 0.33% on the day, 469.81. Same thing, December, flash down, came back up looking for another sell-off. Correlated to the December back here, coming up, hitting the all-time high, selling off, getting a slight bounce, and then selling off once again. I think there is still room for retracement on the SPY, coming down to at least 465. Bitcoin still trying really hard to fight this level at 44K. Coming into the ETF approval for BlackRock, as well as the halving, I still expect Bitcoin to do extremely well and to outperform any other crypto out there. Speaking of other cryptos, Ethereum, the SEC just delayed their decision on Ethereum ETFs to May 2024, which is not a bullish case scenario for Ethereum. Overall, still holding 100% of my Bitcoin. And to close out the video, the current situation is that stocks are down like the last week never happened. Gold is down like the Fed didn't pivot. Treasury yields are down like the Fed pivoted, and oil prices are down like we are heading into a recession. And finally, volatility is near 2020 lows like nothing is happening. Although the VIX has been climbing over the past 2 days, putting some fear in people's hearts. But remember, before that, 2 days ago, the stock market was in extreme greed. Overall, guys, that is what I got for you for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed watching or found value out of the video. Go watch the videos I posted yesterday. Follow me on all platforms. Get in the Discord so we can talk stocks. And follow me on Phonetically. It's the third link under the video. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.